Okay, Squid Game Season 2. Let's just get right into it, guys. First of all, before we get into it, actually, I want to say Happy New Year, because this video is probably going to be posted on a New Year's Day or sometime after the New Year begins. So I just want to say Happy New Year to you guys. Hope you had a great Christmas and a Happy New Year. Okay, so Squid Game 2, guys. It just came out. Season 2. Well, first I want to talk about the things that I really enjoyed about the show, and then I want to talk about what I did not like about it. So let's get into the good stuff first. Is it a good show? Like, is Squid Game Season 2 good? Is it actually good, or is it bad? Now, the short answer to that is yes, it is really good. I will say this, it was really good. I really enjoyed the second season. Almost so much that because I haven't watched the first season in a very long time. It's been, what, 3 years? I didn't rewatch it before I watched the second season. I kind of just watched like a recap video on YouTube of the first season. So I don't know if I like it more or less. But what I can say is that the season 2 is super good. I really enjoyed it. It is definitely worth a watch. Obviously watch the first season first, but this video will probably not have any spoilers. I'm going to try my best to avoid any spoilers. So yeah, just feel free to watch. If there is spoilers, I will let you know and I will tell you what the time marker is, but I'm pretty sure there's not going to be any. Okay, so the good stuff. So what I really liked about the show was, first of all, the cinematography. Can we talk about the cinematography for a second? Particularly the lighting. Like, the lighting is really good. The way they use like contrasting colors, and this is just probably basic cinema like techniques and stuff, but the way they use contrasting colors, like in scenes where like it requires a certain mood of this like heavy, very tense, dark, depressing kind of mood, they will use what is it, right, they would use like a purple and like a blue, or like they'll use a red and a blue, very dark and very non-saturated dark and blue, and it'll combine it together to look really cool and give it a really good atmospheric mood. And the way they shine it on like their faces, like each actor's faces, is incredible. Like it's really well done. Like blue and teal, like they'll use contrasting colors all the time. No matter what scene it is, it always looks really good. The lighting, I'm really impressed with the lighting and cinematography, camera work. It's phenomenal. Second, let's talk about the acting. Okay, so the acting, like this is all in Korean, right? The whole drama is in Korean. So it's really hard to, I understand that because I speak Japanese. So I know when it's hard to convey a certain story element or like a mood, a feeling to an audience that doesn't speak the language that your show is geared in, is written in. So they did a really good job. Like the writers did a phenomenal job of expressing that, where it basically exceeds the boundary of language barriers, right? Like anybody who doesn't understand Korean, even if they're just like, we're just reading the English subtitles, right? Or whatever subtitles you're reading. Well, this show completely overcomes that language barrier. No matter what language your native language is, it really gets into that. It really gets you into the feeling, and like it gets those feels going. I really enjoyed that part of it. Plus the insanely good acting of a lot of the characters. Like most of the actors were phenomenal. I think there was a few that I didn't like, but actually I think there was a rapper character, or there is a rapper character who's actually getting a lot of heat on Twitter right now, I think, for the bad acting that people said he was doing, but I didn't think it was that bad. I thought it was okay. Besides him, he's not like a super main character, but the main characters, like the guy, I don't know Korean names very well, so I forget the guy's name. I should have researched it before. Bad YouTuber. Okay. Anyway, I really like the main character. You know the guy. Like, he's really good. Like, in the first season, I didn't really enjoy him that much, to be honest, but the way they portrayed him in the second season was completely different. Like, it was a great character developing moment, I think, for the show, for his character. I'm going to try to avoid spoilers as much as possible here. But basically, if you watch the first season, it ends with him like about to get on an airplane to leave, but he decides not to because he wants to track down the people and stop the game. So in the second season, it's all about him. Basically, it starts out with him trying to track down that guy that invites people to the game by playing that game where they smack down the thing. I don't know what it's called. I forget. They smack it on the ground, right? Yeah, so they're trying to track that guy down, and he's been doing it for like 3 years. So the whole thing is like him tracking him down. Like it's like 7 episodes, right? The first like 1 or 2 episodes is really all about tracking this guy down. And so the main character is just phenomenal. Like the acting, like the character development is insane. Like he goes from this like guy who's like a super addicted to gambling and stuff in the first season, right? And he's kind of like a clumsy, like a klutz or whatever. But in the second season, he's like super badass. Like he like in the 3 years, like he did like training him, like with all the money he got from the first game that he won. He like used it to train himself, buy all these like weapons on the black market. He has like an arsenal, right? It's insane. And then like they hire like mercenaries to track down the guy, and it's crazy. It's insane. And the way that like he turned into this really serious, like from this like klutzy, clumsy, funny character into this really serious, badass guy. It's incredible character development. I love it. Second guy I want to talk about is really good acting by, what's that guy's name? I forget. Hold on, let me look it up. Okay, I'm gonna really mess this up. I looked it up. His name is Gong-yu. Yeah. Like the guy who's in the main character from Train to Busan, right? The zombie movie. He's the main character, and he's the guy that gets the people to join the game in the Squid Game series. And oh my god, dude, Gong-yu, his acting skills are so insane. Like, oh my god, like I don't really like get super deeply emotionally involved in like a series, but the way he like portrays each and every emotion that they're trying to portray in the show is incredible. Like his acting skills are so good. I really felt like I was in the room with him and he was talking to me. And it's like I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm just gonna say that it was like insane. Like the pressure that I felt, like it's like the thing in Bleach. If you've seen Bleach, the Reiatsu, the spiritual pressure, it's like I'm feeling like his spiritual pressure, and it's insane. And it makes like it builds up suspense. It's so good, guys. I mean, the acting skills are so great with the guy. It's so good. Maybe quick thing on the good side is I want to talk about is the overall like way the show pans out. I'm trying to avoid spoilers, but like towards the end it goes like crazy. It goes from like you know, like calm to like, okay, we got the games, and then to like super John Wick style. It goes insane. Like it goes bonkers, guys. And I just like how the way the story goes. Other than that, I should have wrote this down, but I can't think of like super, there's minute things that I really liked about the show too, but overall I'd give it like a 9 out of 10. Maybe 9.5. But I just think that like, I don't know if I can't decide which one I like better, the season 1 or season 2. I think they're just completely different, to be honest. But I think I like season 2 better, to be honest. I think there's a lot of YouTubers that have already stated that they don't like season 2 as much as they like season 1. But I'm on the other side, where I think season 2 is actually better than season 1, which is crazy for a show, right? Like usually the second season doesn't do as well as the first season. But in my mind, I thought it was really good, and it was great. I have to rewatch the first season again to maybe see, like, to give it a better chance, right? It's been a while since I've seen it. Okay, so let's talk about some of the things I don't like about the show. There's some pretty big things that I didn't like about the show, to be honest, and the list isn't as long as my likes of the show, which is good, but there's some pretty big things that I didn't like about it, and one of them is the games. All right, so there are games in this one as well, but I understand that they're trying to keep the focus on the games. Like that's the point of the show. It's Squid Game. It's supposed to be focused on the games itself, right? But I feel like it's 7 episodes. It's shorter than the first season. And basically, it's kind of like a prelude. The whole thing is a prelude to season 3, which has already been announced. So it's kind of like Attack on Titan, where it's like season 2, part 1. And then you got season 2, part 2, probably. Well, it's going to be season 3. But it was kind of like the part 1 of the ending. So the next season is the final season. And yeah, it ends on a cliffhanger. Spoilers there. But I mean, I'm not going to say what kind of cliffhanger it is. But I don't like how the games played out, because it was 7 episodes and they spent there's 6 games, right? But they spent 2 episodes, almost 2 full episodes on the second game alone. It was crazy. I didn't like the pacing of that. And a lot of people, I watched some other videos of other creators, and they stated that they didn't like the second game much. And I have to agree with them. I didn't really like it that much. It was kind of like a conglomerate of several games into one. and I didn't think it was that thrilling. Yeah, it was that, yeah, and it just took too long to finish. It took like 2 episodes, an episode and a half, and they're long episodes too. But I did enjoy the third game because it ended really well. I didn't like the first part of it, but I liked the last part of it because then it goes crazy. And boy, oh boy, man, there's like so many plot twists. It's so crazy how many plot twists there are in the series. I have to go back to, that's what I wanted to say. Another thing I wanted to say that I liked about the show was how many plot twists there are. And I love the plot twist. It's not like, oh, too much. Like there's too much. Like it's a perfect amount of plot twist. And I really enjoyed how they showed it in the show. So I think final thing that I really didn't like about the show was the whole side quest of, they had like the police officer from the first season with the mercenaries that I talked about that they hired, trying to track the guy down, the main character who ends up joining the games again. And they spend like this whole time, like they basically go nowhere. They search so many islands and like it doesn't like progress at all. And it just feels like what are they doing? Like what are they actually, what's the point of them even being there if nothing's gonna happen, right? But they're like badass, they're like Navy SEAL dudes. They're like, I want something to happen, right? But nothing happens, and it's kind of like disappointing. Maybe it'll happen in the 3rd season, but I feel like the pacing there was a little bit off. And I feel like the way they switched back and forth from the main character, I forget his name, sorry, playing the games, and then back to the police officer and the mercenaries trying to find him, and then like there was a lot of like switching back and forth, and sometimes there was not enough switching back and forth. Like we went like a whole hour without switching back to the police officer dudes, and I was like, okay, what are these guys doing? Like what's going on? Yeah, so I think the pacing there was a little bit weird. Not too much bad things though, guys. I really enjoyed the Squid Game season 2, and I definitely recommend it to you guys to go watch it. So yeah, watch the recap of season 1, or just watch season 1 entirely. It's long though, and then watch season 2, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Or if you already did, just let me know in the comments. And yeah, that's about it, guys. Happy New Year if it's New Year. If it's not, almost Happy New Year. Happy New Year's Eve. Love you guys as usual. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. If you want to support more, just hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, make sure to smash the like button and then hit the subscribe. It's free, right? We also have memberships too if you just want to support me that way, but it's free to subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys for watching again, and I'll see you next time. Bye.